Quibi. Launched in April 2020 with nearly $2 billion in funding and Hollywood names like Steven Spielberg, Chrissy Teigen, and Idris Elba on board, the gimmick was that shows were broken into 10-minute episodes and could be watched in either portrait or landscape mode. The only problem was, at $5 a month, people weren't going to pay for what was basically just YouTube videos with bigger budgets. Quibi also launched right at the start of COVID, when people were stuck at home with TV, not commuting with their phones. Within 6 months, the service collapsed. CNN Plus. Debuting in March 2022, it promised a lineup of original shows hosted by familiar anchors like Anderson Cooper and Jake Tapper, along with new series tailored for a digital audience. The service cost $6 a month, but from the start, it struggled to find an audience. Reports suggested daily viewership barely cracked 5 figures, which was embarrassingly low for a brand with CNN's reach. The timing didn't help either. Its launch coincided with the merger of Warner Media and Discovery, whose new leadership quickly decided the venture wasn't worth saving. Seeso. Seeso was NBC Universal's attempt at building a niche comedy streaming service. Launched in early 2016, it was pitched as the ultimate hub for comedy fans, featuring classics like Saturday Night Live, Monty Python's Flying Circus, and a slate of original shows from up-and-coming comedians. At $3.99 a month, it was cheap compared to other platforms, but even that couldn't save it. Seeso struggled to stand out in a crowded market, and its original content, though beloved by a small cult audience, never reached mainstream popularity. By mid-2017, NBC pulled the plug. PlayStation Vue. PlayStation Vue was Sony's bold attempt to reimagine live television for the streaming era. Launched in 2015, it wasn't about on-demand shows or exclusive originals. It was a full cable replacement service. Vue offered live channels plus DVR features, all accessible through PlayStation consoles, smart TVs, and mobile apps. The problem was branding and competition. A lot of people assumed you needed a PlayStation to use it, which wasn't true, but by the time that confusion was cleared up, cheaper rivals like Sling TV, YouTube TV, and Hulu Plus Live TV had already taken over. Go90. Go90 was Verizon's $1.2 billion attempt to break into the streaming world, and it's often remembered as one of the clumsiest. Launched in 2015, the mobile-only app was aimed squarely at younger audiences, offering short-form shows, live sports, and partnerships with creators from Awesomeness TV. The service never found its identity. It was too scattered. Most people didn't even realize it existed, let alone that it was free. By 2018, Verizon finally shut it down after massive losses, writing off nearly the entire investment. Vessel. Launched in 2015, it offered a clever but ultimately doomed idea. People could pay $2.99 a month to get early access to videos from popular YouTubers and creators, usually about 72 hours before they appeared on YouTube for free. The platform also promised better ad revenue splits to attract talent, and for a short time, some creators gave it a shot, but audiences weren't interested in paying to see content a couple days early. Yahoo Screen. Launched in 2011, the platform mixed licensed TV clips, movies, live events, and original series. Its biggest move was rescuing the sitcom Community for a 6th season after NBC canceled it, along with other original comedies like Other Space and Sin City Saints. These shows barely drew audiences large enough to justify the massive costs. Yahoo was reportedly losing tens of millions of dollars on its originals. By 2016, Yahoo threw in the towel. Redbox Instant. Redbox Instant was a joint venture between Redbox and Verizon. Launched in 2013, it offered a monthly subscription that gave users unlimited streaming plus credits to rent physical DVDs from Redbox machines. On paper, it seemed like a clever hybrid between old and new. In practice, the library was thin, the app was clunky, and the value just wasn't there compared to Netflix or Hulu. The service also struggled with piracy issues and security breaches. After less than 2 years on the market, Redbox Instant shut down in October 2014. Filmstruck. Launched in 2016 by Turner Classic Movies and the Criterion Collection, it offered a carefully curated library of classic films, foreign cinema, and art house gems that weren't easily available anywhere else. Unlike the mainstream streamers chasing blockbusters and sitcoms with themed collections and extras like introductions and interviews, it quickly developed a passionate following, but not a very large one. In 2018, Warner Media, under new corporate leadership, decided the niche service wasn't worth the resources and shut it down. Fullscreen. Fullscreen started as one of the biggest YouTube multi-channel networks, managing digital creators and producing online content. In 2015, it tried to turn that cloud into its own subscription streaming service, marketed toward young, internet-savvy audiences. For $4.99 a month, fans could get exclusive series starring popular YouTubers, influencers, and comedians. The service launched with a lot of hype and a slick app, but it ran into the same problem that doomed many niche streamers. Audiences didn't want to pay extra for content they were used to getting free on YouTube. Despite a few interesting originals, the platform never gained traction. By 2017, Fullscreen announced it would shut down the subscription service. Crackle. Originally founded in the mid-2000s and later bought by Sony, Crackle was one of the earliest free, ad-supported streaming services. For a while, it actually had a shot at competing with Netflix and Hulu, thanks to a mix of movies, TV shows, and even a few original series like Comedians in Cars Getting Coffee. But as bigger players poured billions into content and marketing, Crackle never kept up. Sony gradually lost interest, eventually selling a majority stake in the service to Chicken Soup for the Soul Entertainment in 2019. Since then, Crackle has limped along, mostly filled with older catalog titles and low-profile originals. It's not completely dead, but in terms of cultural relevance, Crackle faded out years ago. Drama Fever, one of the first major platforms to bring Korean dramas and other Asian television to US audiences. Founded in 2010, it quickly gained a loyal audience among fans who wanted easy, legal access to subtitled K-dramas, variety shows, and telenovelas. Its library grew to include licensed content from South Korea, China, Japan, and Latin America. In 2016, Warner Bros. Acquired the service, seemingly securing its future. But just 2 years later, in October 2018, Warner abruptly shut Drama Fever down, citing rising licensing costs.